You are welcome to the Urbane Bloke Experience podcast.
Today, the episode we'll be talking about has to do with the challenges and dealing with life while you are integrating into a new environment. With me in the studio today, I have the awesome guest, a special guest. How do you want me to introduce you? Or introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, my name is Jerry.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a legal clerk at Win Solicitors.
All right. You're welcome. You're welcome. How are you feeling today?
Yeah, I'm okay.
So today, I want you to briefly just talk to me about yourself. Just a very brief introduction, what you like, the kind of person you are, and a bit of a background.
Right, like I said, my name is Jerry. I actually like reading books. That actually entices me a lot. And I like exploring new ideas. And I also like reading about the financial markets.
Okay.
Like I do stocks and everything. So, I like trying new things. So basically, that's all. So I like trying new things. And also, my profession is I'm into law, so you know that already. So I studied law at the University of Sunderland. Yeah.
Fellow Sunderland. Big shout out to Sunderland. Yeah, big shout out to University of Sunderland. They tried.
They tried that, please.
Yeah, you're welcome, bro. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I've been trying to commit to 3 times in a week, which is a bit of a challenge sometimes, but yeah.
That's
good. So let's get right into why we're here. Today we'll be talking about something very interesting, like I said earlier, and I just want you to take us back now to how you decided to leave Nigeria to relocate to the UK. What was the emotion like? I mean, you're coming to a place that you've never been before. Yeah. There is the fear of unknown. There is the fear of like you are leaving something that you are certain about for something you're uncertain about. You're leaving your loved ones, all of that. What was it like?
Well, to me, coming to the UK was more like a miracle. It wasn't something I planned, because I would say that because I was a 300 level student at the University of Ibadan,
right,
when I left Nigeria. So it was something it was during the COVID period. All universities were locked down, nobody going to out. So my dad just rang me. Well, like, send me because I already finished from Polytechnic, but I already had a degree there. National diploma certificate.
So you finished from?
I finished from Poly to University of Ibadan.
Okay.
So when I was still in 300 level,
right,
at the University of Ibadan when I left Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
So what happened is that during the COVID period, all universities were shut, in Nigeria now, and ASU strike and everything.
Yeah,
I should have credited in Nigeria to ASU strike and everything. So my dad just rang me, or like one of his friends who processed university admission in the UK. I should send my document to his friend. To me, I thought it was just joke, because I've seen that man account. He doesn't have money.
You see
I mean,
you judged him.
You know how much good to you to study.
So, what are you trying to cook?
I know just now I was going to start from scratch, which is
undergraduate. Yeah,
and you have to maybe 3 years tuition fee to pay. I was like, what is my father ever thinking? Let me follow it. Let me trust his words.
Right.
So I sent the document to the person he asked me to send. So I didn't hear from them. A few days later, I didn't hear from them. So suddenly the guy just sent me a message on WhatsApp. Oh, you had been admitted at University of Sunderland. No. Before then, prior to that time, he asked me which course I want to study. I was like, okay, I want to study. Initially, I wanted to study computer science. But he said because I studied public administration at Polytechnic Ibadan. My Polytechnic certificate will not suffice for me to study computer science, because I was in social science, not science, or something like computer science for science people. So it was like, which other courses would I like to study? Or like law and economics. Yeah, so I gave him law and economics. So he came back, they've admitted you to Sunderland University, giving you admission for law. But you need to do IELTS, IELTS exam.
Yeah.
So you must have, I think, 7.0 or something like that. I can't remember precisely. So you must write the exam and you must pay £3,500 as deposit for the class. Then I went back to my dad, because 3,000. Then money wasn't it wasn't £2,000.
Yeah,
it
the
was
exchange
still
rate wasn't crazy then.
like 700 or something like that. So, but obviously, I knew my dad didn't.
It was
have
still
enough
significant.
money.
Yeah.
I went back to my dad. Like, this is what the person said. We need to pay a deposit of so amount. My dad said, "Don't worry. We'll settle that. We'll do that." Like, is
what's going on here?
Is this my hard money supply? I don't know.
It's been holding out on you.
So the guy said the next thing I need to do is to pass my IELTS.
Okay.
So was it IELTS, or I think you need to do the university interview first before you go to IELTS, because the university hasn't. They gave me unconditional admission. They're not unconditional. I think you have to get conditional before.
First, yeah.
If you meet the condition, then you get unconditional. So one of the criteria was conditional criteria was you must pass the interview with the university. The interview, I think their immigration staff will interview you, ask you why you're coming to the UK. Bro, I did research like I wanted to write JAM.
I mean, you have to, man.
Bro, I mean, every morning I was waking up.
Were you going around asking yourself questions like,
I did.
name is...
I did it. I did it. Absolutely, I did.
You stood in front of a mirror.
My girlfriend then, I will be both of us. I'll say, oh yeah, you need to start interviewing me. You need to tell me. I need to tell you. I read about the university. I read about Sunderland University. Like, I even knew Sunderland Street, everything, the river, everything. Like, so on the day of the interview, I didn't even have a camera phone at the time because I was really broke while I was in school. I need to say that because I was absolutely broke. University life now, you struggle to eat. Because I was originally from Benin. I was schooling at University of Ibadan, which I was living in Ibadan. My parents were living in Benin. Nobody, I was just there, no family, no friends. I got friends, but no family, nothing. I was just surviving, I went to borrow one of my friends from Ireti. His name is Ireti.
A big shout out to Ireti. Thank you.
I said, Ireti, please, I need to have this interview with this school. I need to use your phone. I went to his house. The university called me. I was shivering, bro. Yeah, so we had the interview. They told me I passed. I was so happy. Then they said the next stage is IELTS. And you know IELTS. Yeah. I've never done before. And I've heard a lot of people fail it a lot. You can't do it one first time.
You have to try it like twice.
Have to try it twice. I've already even made up my mind I was going to try like 3 times.
Just to give yourself soft landing. You are not expecting too much.
Yeah, I made up my mind. But the money is, I think IELTS there was 90-something grand. 90,000, sorry, 1,000 naira, not naira. 90-something thousand naira. And then my dad already told me that you have to pass it because I don't have enough money to spend it. At that time, I still did not believe that man has the money for the first, that £3,500. I still did not believe that. But I was just following the process with faith. I was like, if any fucker want to come, it should come from me.
Yeah. And then I'll be able to tell you like I did my part. This is for you. I feel you,
bro. Then I started studying for the IELTS. I did the IELTS in Lagos. My dad rented a very big hotel for me. I was like, I didn't have anybody in Lagos, so he rented a hotel for me. I should stay in there to read for the exam. But prior to going to Lagos, I read like mad. Like practice, not like reading, practice, writing, speaking, everything, like practice, like complete like practice. So when I got there, I think it was Sheraton Hotel. That Lagos Sheraton Hotel.
They bored you out.
No, I mean when you did the exam.
Oh, okay. I you cannot be
sorry to I think this, it was British people that conducted the exam.
Right.
So I think they were living in charity hotel. They have like, I don't know, maybe a room there where you write the exams, the practical and everything. So the result came, I passed. I was really happy. Then I sent it to the agent. The agent that is doing the admission. My dad paid the tuition fee.
Oh, wow.
With Naira after, things was a bit cheaper.
Yeah,
yeah. So I paid everything. The next thing, you got unconditional admission.
Wow. So this is real now.
Really?
I didn't go.
I've never been on flight before. My heart. I didn't tell anybody, even my landlord. I didn't. My dad said, "Don't zip him." Even my brother, my sister. My dad. I told my landlord I was going to Lagos. I'm coming back because I packed early in the morning.
Like, get it. Nobody tells anybody when they're leaving.
I think the only person that knew about it was my girlfriend. So she knew about it. And at the same time, she didn't know when precisely I was
going.
Yeah. But she knew I was going to travel. Because we've been practicing, telling each other how we're going to communicate, all this kind of stuff,
It's all love.
I was in Lagos. She thought I was coming back. I think her spirit was working. The day I got on the flight, and that particular day I was traveling, she rang me. She was like, "Oh, Jerry, my spirit is just..." Then I had to open up. Then I'm already on the flight. We both started crying.
Aww.
She cried. I flew to London. London boy.
I'm sure when you landed, you stopped crying.
But even before, I mean, I got to London. You don't know anybody.
Right. So, sorry to cut you short.
That's fine.
While you were in transit and you were on your way, what were the things that was going through your head? What were you thinking about? Like, I'm going to this new place.
Yeah.
What am I going to? Did you have a plan?
I think what really preoccupied me at that particular time was the tuition fee, because my dad already told me he didn't have any money again. Like, all the money he had, he has already spent it on tuition fee. That I have to go to that place and work my ass up, because I booked accommodation Sunderland, Clanny House.
Yeah.
But they said I didn't qualify for they used to give sponsorship then. I mean, you give free accommodation for 1 year.
Oh.
So I applied to get that. I didn't get it, and I only had just £500. And then £500 was big too.
Yeah.
It was really big. 2021. With £10 you get a lot of things now.
Right.
I got to UK, started doing, because I'm a student then. Planning House University didn't have any choice but to take me in, because when I got to Heathrow, from Heathrow to Newcastle, so I met a friend. But that friend, he wasn't going to Clan, he was going to a different place. We didn't know any place. So I stopped at Sunderland train station. I said that you take me to Clanny. When I got to Clanny, I sat close to the door. I sat there. I was like, if any security man want to take me off, they should take me. I'm not leaving because I don't have any house to live or to stay or to live in. So the security man saw me. Were like, "Oh, what's your name?" I said, "My name is Jerry." "Oh, show me your admission letter." I showed him. They gave me a room. They said, but they'll give me 3 months not for free, but I'll stay 3 months. After 3 months, I'll start paying for that.
Oh.
Yeah, I said, okay. And that period was COVID. You have to isolate for 14 days. Yeah. While I was in isolation, I met friends, French friends, Nigerian. I would start thinking, they start applying for factory job. That was how I got factory job. I wasn't buying any clothes, bro. I look very tattered, bro. My friends that we were living together in the same house, they were like, "Bro, can't you even buy something?" Or like, you are paying 1 year tuition fee. Me, I'm paying 3 good days.
We have different struggles. I mean, now, just looking back now, right, at the time that you were applying for job, because this is one topic that we'll be touching on. I just want to note that down. You mentioned that you were looking out for factory jobs.
Yes.
Was it because of the information you had, this is the only one you could get, or you were exploring other ones? They were not just forthcoming. What was the reason why you were specific about the factory job?
I think because they already told us that the factory's two sister. Two sister was looking for a staff at that time. At that time, we don't have too many people in the UK. I'm an immigrant. So, and I needed a job instantly.
Right. So, walk me through that. You're working in two sisters, you're balancing school. What was it like managing the two together financially, integrating into the culture, learning new things?
Right. It wasn't really easy, but what really saved me, while I was in Nigeria, I used to be a bookworm. So I love reading because I really did not have anything I was doing in Nigeria. My father kept telling me, you have to be reading your book. So I think when I came to the UK, first year, having to start first year again, I already had the experience. I really did not do much of reading in my first year. Well, I concentrated on making money so I can be able to pay the tuition fee, because the school was already sending me emails that if you didn't pay your tuition fee, leave the country. And that email is really, really traumatizing. It's really traumatizing. You don't want to see that email. So what I did was I was only just doing 20 hours at a time with two sisters. So I had a lot of time to read my books and also to do crypto, something like. I was just looking for money to ensure I paid the tuition fee and also paid for the first year, not for the second year, because I had like 8 grand left for me to pay my first year.
Wow.
And the accommodation, and we were only working two sisters 20 hours. I couldn't afford to get clothes for myself, I couldn't afford to get nice things, Other of my friends were getting nice things. The type of food I was eating, one of my friends, he really mocked me at the time. So I was living like a pauper, So I wasn't too rich. All the money I had was saved towards paying tuition fee, not even accommodation, because I allowed them. They almost wanted to chase me out from the house because I couldn't pay my accommodation. So because I couldn't pay, after the 3 months, they were asking me to pay. I told them I'm paying tuition fee because I knew if I didn't pay tuition fee, I could be sent out of the country. But if I didn't pay house rent, they can't send me out of the country.
Yeah.
So I was just using that logic. All the money I had, I put it towards tuition fee, saving a lot, until I was able to clear off my first year tuition fee. Then I met a white girlfriend. She paid my accommodation for 3 months.
Oh, okay.
I paid that money back. It wasn't free, bro.
Oh, okay.
I had a white girlfriend at the time. She's really nice. She was a bit young. And the parent loved me because the father used to live in Africa as a military man.
Okay.
To British Army. So he was able to key into my culture, this kind of stuff. And the lady, she was a young girl, 20, I think 21 at the time, or 20. So she actually, she saw the message university sent to me that they were going to chase me out of the accommodation. And white people, they are very compassionate.
Yeah.
They're very compassionate. But she said, oh, don't worry, I'll help you to pay the tuition fee. Not tuition fee, sorry, accommodation
fee, yeah. So
she paid the accommodation £1,150 for 3 months. Yes, she paid it. But that money I paid back, bro. So I had an agreement with her that I would be paying every month.
Right.
So I would be paying it every month. She said she agreed. Then that was how I was able to skate through my first year. After first year, you have 3 month holiday.
Yeah.
So that 3 months you can work more than 20 hours.
Yeah.
Bro, that was when I destroyed my life. I was working 7 days in a week, bro. I used to work morning and night. Just to ensure I gathered the second year tuition fee. Because you have 3 months holiday before second year.
How much was the tuition fee?
I think 13,500, yeah.
13,500 pounds.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a lot.
That you should know I've worked a lot of money with my soul, my body, my spirit.
That is a lot, man.
Yeah, like that 3 months they gave to us. I wasn't staying at home. I was paying accommodation for my clothes. I was basically going to work, having another life, going to work, stay in a care home, from care to factory, from factory to work. Then I was able to raise like $8,000, bro, for that 3 months. $8,000.
Wow.
People in my accommodation, they know about this. They only say, like, I was able to raise $8,000. Then I paid it towards my tuition fee.
Right.
It was a bit relief. Then I focused on my book. My second year was really tough. My second year and third year at the university was really tough because you have to do internship. You have to, it's more practical. You have to write exams. So it's not like Excel. You have to write exams on everything. What I did was, whenever I was on night shift, I always read my book. Read my book, do my assessment, go to class. I missed class, but it's just few times. I ensured I went to class every time. Because you have to tap your card. And I did all those things. And before, you pay half of the tuition fee, then before January, you have to pay the full. Before January of that second year, I was able to raise the second part of the tuition fee for the second year.
I have a question.
Okay.
While you were doing all these things, because they sound really, really stressful and challenging, was there any time that you felt like, okay, I couldn't cope with this? What was motivating you? And was there any time that you tried to find an alternative route? Because I've heard stories of people that will come in through, being a student, and maybe it gets really challenging and all, and they have to find another way of just exploring other options. Was there any time that you had to consider that? What was the motivation for you to be going through all that, saving up that much money and just putting it back into your school? What was pushing you? All
right. I think I would say it's just boiled down to my lifestyle. Lifestyle matters a lot. So I've not been used to flamboyant life. I've always been. When I was in Nigeria, I used to work in sawmill. I don't know if you know what sawmill used to do. So I've had that hard working spirit in me. But at the point, I actually got discouraged. I wouldn't lie to you. And that was between year 1 to year 2. After I'd paid the first year tuition fee, so working towards the second year, I had $8,000. One of my friends who almost discouraged me told me that, listen, you are studying law. You are not even studying nursing. You are studying law. If you finish this uni, you not get job. One, your accent is whack. That guy,
he said it like that.
Obviously, like we used to work in factory. That guy is in US now. His name is Kisley. When I got job, he was the first person I called.
I told you.
he said, one, your accent is whack.
Oh my God.
You don't have British. I said, you're studying law. Do you think they take foreigners for law? If I were you, I'll use the money to pay for care visa. That was my friend too. At that time, I didn't see it as, I just took it as like, okay, it's just providing me an advice, isn't it? So I took it like that. Then I thought about it. But along the line, I was like, I've already come too far. Right? If I didn't pay the first tuition fee, it would have been different. If I was able to pay first tuition fee and I'm able to save up $8,000 for second year, it means I'll be able to pay third year and everything. And you know what? I thought about my friends' advice. Just say, no, I'm going to pay the tuition fee. I just paid the money. That was before I paid the tuition fee. The advice came before I paid the tuition fee. Well, one day I just made up my mind. I was like, I'm too smart not to do this. I knew I was smart. I knew. So, but I never knew I was going to get a job. I was like, but let me just finish uni. Because I didn't finish uni in Nigeria. I still come to UK. What would the future look like?
Right.
So I was like, bro, I must finish this uni. Even if anything takes me, I'm ready to give it all. So I paid the tuition fee. Yeah, it was challenging. But at the same time, I think I was already built
for it. So the mindset of, I like what you said about you started it and you were thinking, I cannot just stop now. What would the future look like for me? And that is a very important and a powerful mindset to have, especially if you're in a place where it is new, like the odds are against you, and it's looking like, okay, I'm not even seeing light at the end of the tunnel, but I just need to keep pushing, and eventually maybe something might work out for me. But there was no certainty for it. But the fact that you still kept going, that was really, really impressive. And actually, I'm inspired by that. So if anybody is watching this, I just want to put this out there. The fact that Kevin Hart said something, it was like, you don't start something and not finish it. You know, if it's something that you really want to do and you've started it, you might as well just finish it, regardless of whatever it is that is taken out of you, regardless of how challenging it might get. One of the reasons why we're having this conversation is because I'm a huge fan of embracing the journey, enjoying every part of the journey. Even though thinking about it now, I doubt you enjoyed the journey as much.
I didn't enjoy it. Even though I'm not enjoying it. There hasn't been time that I enjoy. Like, I mean, in the past, I mean, within those 3 years, I struggled all my life.
Oh man,
I became like an old man. People were thinking I'm even like 30, 35, 36. One of my friends literally told me that, bro, you look so old, you are stressing yourself too much. But at the same time, I just wanted to get it. I didn't listen to worrying about whatever. Even my dad at the point was like, can't you because I told him about the plan my friend told me to get a care visa. It was like, can't you just get it? Because my dad was absolutely scared when I sent him the uni message for the tuition fee, uni sent me message. So he was scared. He was scared of the fact that maybe uni will send me back home. All the money is spent.
That's what would have gone to waste.
So I told him that I wasn't losing any faith. At the point, I blocked everybody. I mean, I blocked my dad, everybody.
Really?
Anytime I talked to them, they were giving me too many stress on my head. I was passing through stress. I didn't want anybody to disturb me at all.
What kind of stress? Was it like they were concerned or?
No, I mean, the rest of my family never knew I was in the UK.
Right.
So just my dad, like my elder brother, because I needed money. I asked him, so I told him about it. So those ones always think maybe I was still in Nigeria. I always want to talk. My mom always want to talk to me from morning to night.
Right.
You don't talk to me again. And my dad was like, he started feeling too much concern. And if you're too concerned about me, it was always, are you okay, all this kind of stuff. I needed to just do away with those things. Focus on what I was doing. So I blocked them. Do you know how he got to reach me? He reached me through a friend who caught my UK number, because at that time they never had my UK number. They only have my Nigerian number. So that was how they were able to get in touch with me. I got back to them. I told them that I misplaced my phone.
Fair. So I wanted to ask you this. In the midst of this, and while you were going through this journey, right? Especially going back by what your friend said about employing an immigrant as a lawyer, the chances that you're going to get a job is very slim. The accents and all of that. Did you ever feel the need to perform in a certain way, try to adjust to just accommodate the new culture you are in, the new space that you're in? Was there a level that you felt like, this is not the real me, but because of where I'm at right now, I need to do this certain thing, I need to act or behave a certain way? Did that come up anyway?
I won't say anything unusual came up, because I was always like that while I was in Nigeria. I didn't have money, living those kind of life, I wouldn't say anything unusual came up. It was like me living my life. But in terms of the university lifestyle, my job, and my employability potential in the future, I always wanted to come out with first class. I came out with first class. So, I was like, let me just come out with first class. I know I didn't get a job. So it's not like, oh, you come out with 2-1 or I just wanted to come out first class and I came out first class. It was just a culture. It was something that I cultivated right from my first year. I was like, I'm going to put it, I just said in my mind that I was going to come out first class. I didn't believe I was going to actually come out first class, but it was the motivation. Yeah. It was like, it serves as a motivation for me to do that, to work very hard. So I think that the motivation, and in terms of having to compromise myself or anything, because I wasn't used to them before. Do you understand? Even to be someone that was used to flamboyant life, because I didn't have the opportunity to live that flamboyant. I probably would have said, or I wouldn't have been able to cope up to the level, because I don't buy expensive clothes. I don't buy. All my money was saved towards tuition fee. Or if you're someone that buy like wristwatch or expensive things that take your money, or like to go out, like to travel to London, to France, I'm not saying those things are bad, but it's not just my life. That was the reason I was able to save money for that, because I was not doing anything next. I was not spending. Family never knew I was in the UK, so I wasn't spending money home. So all this kind of stuff, I was able to squarely save for the tuition fee.
Right. And your uni journey, I know you've touched on it while we were talking before the pod about like how your course-mates, some of them.
Those guys were so rich. Those guys, all those guys, they are politician children. So the law department, they are called like flamboyant students. Like rich guys.
Was there any time that you felt like you didn't belong?
First year, I never belonged. Second year, I started having friends, and it was like just few, not few. I think one friend.
How did you feel like you were not belong?
Yeah, bro. The educational system is completely different. 1, 2. This is all about the practical. I wasn't able to speak. As Sunderland, I will congratulate them for that. I'll give them kudos for that. They teach you practical at the law department. So every time you have to come out to speak, you understand? The first time, second time, third time, bro, I was messing up myself. Bro.
Were you shaking?
No, I'm not shaking. I didn't even know what to say. So what they do is that to just bring topic, to bring a scenario.
Okay.
Ask you to come and speak about. You must come out to speak. It's just to be yourself, Speak about what is the law, what would you do, this kind of stuff. Me, God, I'm not used to that kind of pattern of teaching.
Yeah.
I was really, first, second, third. I remember approaching one of my tutors. I thought, please, how can I build my confidence? Because I was really shy. I'm not shy, I was really ashamed of myself that I wasn't performing to expectation.
Right.
Because every other person is performing very well. Like every other person is performing very well, accurately. I was like, oh God, how can I do this? Right? There's no time for me to practice because I need to go to work. There's no I don't really care. I must do it. I think there was one of my courses that one of my modules that did with speaking. I think I had 56
out of 100.
Out of 100, obviously.
Obviously.
I think.
And what was that like? Did you feel any kind of energy from your?
I think that's the only thing. That's the only course I had 56. Like 70. But that's like in terms of exam, I'm very smart. Like exams, you write the exams, you write the essay. Those ones are very good at it.
Yeah.
But when it talks about speaking, having to come out, face the public, this kind of stuff, or script, I find it so difficult. I think because you have to do, like, if you're a law student, you have to do it from first year, second year, third year. So I started picking up in my second year.
Okay.
I think end the second year. So then third year, I worked in a law firm, Sunderland Law Clinic. It's called Law Clinic.
Right.
So and also I did internship. Sunderland Uni arranged internship for their students. So I think that was where I was able to build my confidence. I think to an average of 40, not even 60. So it's just, I have to be real with you, bro.
I mean, I appreciate it, man, honestly. So now let's fast forward. You're done with uni now. Walk me through about the process of you securing a job. What was that like? Because another challenge of a lot of immigrants is the fact that how to integrate into the workspace, the job market, the opportunities. I can only imagine that studying a course like law and going about what your friend already said earlier, that getting a job would be a bit challenging. So walk me through that. How was the process?
Right. So, like you said, it was a bit challenging. Not it was. It is. Is it? It's very challenging.
It's so challenging. You do what?
It's so challenging in the sense that the job. Like it's short. I never thought I was going to get a job. So my intention was to go into legal tech.
Okay.
I wrote for a course, Python, C++, just to learn the software, and so I can, because I already at that point already understood theories from the law, like the theoretical aspect of the law, and I was like, okay, let me learn software. Let me see if I can go into legal tech, which is an area that is just booming now. I was like, okay, that won't require me to speak always, isn't it? And that would mean it's more like being as a software engineer, something like that, but it's not as tedious as software engineer and so on stuff. So I started learning those things. So in my third year, one of my tutors sent me a link to this particular job. I applied to that very job. Said, oh, you just need to apply to the job, right? Send me, I think it was LinkedIn. Sent me a LinkedIn, so I tried applying. I applied, I just applied. I never too sure I was going to get the job. That was towards the tail end of my third year as a university student. So I applied, but I ensured I wrote my cover letter, my CV very well. I the job description. I ensured I demonstrate how I meet each of the job description, which of course I've already gotten experience from uni and from the internship I did and some bit of, you know what I mean? So you just put everything together. You put everything together. Sometimes I overemphasize my skills.
I mean, that's very important. You have to sell yourself. If you don't, who will?
In my cover letter, I wrote it. I submitted it. Everything. So I forgot about it. I just did it like. If it comes, it comes. You know, that kind of thing. So I was more occupied with bringing my dad from Nigeria to my graduation. So I never thought about the job. I think a week after my graduation, I just got an email. Oh, we received your cover letter, your CV, you're qualified for an interview, and something like that. I was like, seriously, this thing came through. This is the toughest part. It's not the part of writing. This is the part that is the toughest part. I think to get a job in the UK, it's past three stages. One, you have to do psychometry exam. Psychometry exam basically tests your understanding of the job, of the company, the values, the core values of the company. They set it like illogical questions. It could be logical questions you have to answer, but it will be related to the company's values. Yeah. It's not just, you can't answer it if you don't know the company values. All answers may be correct, but one specifically related to the company values. So you must have read about the company, like in and out, for you to pass that commentary test. So we did that first stage, which I skated through. Then the second stage was a telephone interview. So I got a call from the HR. Oh, are you Jerry? We received your CV. Can you tell us about this? Can you tell us, asking me what I've written on my CV? And you tell you, how did you get this experience? Then the next day they told me, oh, you passed, then you now come for the physical interview.
That's the final one.
At our office. God, that was where the fear started. But what really helped me was I've already read about the company. I've read about even people that once interviewed me. So it was the head of the department I was going to that interviewed me, the two heads. So I've read about them. I went to LinkedIn. I checked about their profile. I've read about the company. I've read about the roles, like the roles I was applying, the role I was applying to, and everything, the position, what it entails, and everything. And it relates to what they taught me my first year.
Right.
So I went back to my first year. You can access your canvas.
Yeah.
I went back to my first year, read about everything again. Then I said, I'm fully prepared. So anything I want to happen will happen. But the only thing I was scared of was the fear. I was like, oh, I should not go and mess up myself on that day.
The delivery.
Oh, delivery. But I've really, really practiced. Like every day, just like the way I practice for my IELTS. I've really practiced. Like I've known about the company that it was established in 2002. Jeff Wills. I read about Jeff Wills. Everything. I was like, I don't want anything that I would say, fuck come. So when I got there, When I got there on that day, I put on my suit.
So I put on my suit.
I put on my suit. The suit
that doesn't look the part.
The suit I bought for graduation. I wore that suit again. That was the same suit I wore for my graduation. When I sat there. So they told me, I met the security man. Oh, the people that want to, can you just sit here? They took me to an office. I sat there. First of all, oh, my name is, how are you? How did you come to do that? I was shivering, bro. That's when my shivering started. So they told me, calm down.
It's okay.
They asked me to relax. Calm down. Just calm down. Don't worry. First thing they asked me to, how did I meet the job requirements? Then they asked me about so many things in relation to. They initially told me I was going to write exams.
Right.
But suddenly, after the interview, they were like, there was no point for the exam, so everything's okay. They, I was interviewed by two English ladies. So, English ladies, the English people, they know how to, yeah, you're doing very well.
They'll gas you up like, okay,
yeah, you're very
honestly,
good.
see, with interviews, it's always very crazy.
Because there's some questions I wanted to, nobody answers it.
You don't know what to believe in. Yeah. Are you whining me or I actually answered it properly? I didn't even take their IP as something pass because I already work in a care home. I know they do. You know the behavior.
I know the culture and everything. Then I go home. I think I was working the following day. I was working the following day in the care home. I got a text message. Jerry, we need to discuss your results about the interview. I was like, I don't feel. Because if I don't feel, you send me an email to say
congratulations.
The job. Then the person asked me, the HR asked me, when are you free? I said, I'm free next tomorrow. I'm working now. I said, no, it's very important. Very important. Then I said, do you want us to send an email? I said, yes, fine, send an email. When they sent the email, I took time before I opened it. I was like, because me, I already lost up, bro.
Yeah, you felt like.
When I opened the email, congratulations.
Oh my God.
I couldn't wait to finish that job, that shit.
You still finished? You're a better person than I am.
I wouldn't have left it. The lady that we were both working, I jumped. I went to meet her. Bro, I'm not coming here tomorrow.
Oh my God.
It was really crazy. I was so happy, so emotional. I called my dad, I called everybody. They were like, I got a job. They asked me if I wanted to start the following month. I said, no, I'm starting the next Monday. I said, I'm going to start the next Monday. No.
I mean, I have a few questions, right? First off, the intentionality you put into your cover letter.
Yeah.
So this is us talking about like securing a professional job and securing your whatever role that you're trying to apply for. The intentionality you put into your cover letter, I'm sure it's the same that you put into your CV.
Yeah.
And At the time that you were going for the interview,
Yeah.
what were the things? Okay, so now you've prepared, now you feel ready, pumped, but now you've got into the venue, and now you're not sure anymore.
I wasn't very sure.
Yeah. What were the things that were going through your head that helped you to still answer those questions? Because sometimes, and from personal experience, sometimes when you get into the office, and then
Everything disappeared.
and our emotions takes over the way our composure and everything, and there is a bit of a battle, internal battle that goes on, like, oh, I'm in control, I'm not in control, my emotions are in control. And sometimes the emotions, they do win. And before you even get into the office or you start the interview, there's a part of you that's accepting the defeat already.
Yeah.
And you just kind of like, I'm just going to do my bare minimum and all that. So what helped you to still deliver while you were not sure about securing it or not?
Like I practically understand your question. What really helped me was the fact that I've already internalized everything I want to say. Like everything I wanted to say, I've already internalized it, in the sense that it's more like how I practice for the interview, or more like me being practicing, in the sense that whatever I wanted to say on that particular day, I've already practiced it, like physically. You know, like they asked me, obviously it's a lot, and they're saying, have you ever drafted a client care letter before? Which I've actually done. I've had the experience, I've done it, and I've practiced it before I went to the interview.
Right.
So it's very difficult for me to forget it, because I've already practiced it before I got there. So if the only way I could have forgotten it would have been if I'd not practiced it, like I just had it theoretical. The fear, everything would take it off from me. But because I've actually had those experiences, I've actually done those things. Even while I was practicing and while I was preparing for the interview, I've done most of the things, most of the skills, most of everything they want to ask me. I've done them practically. While I was working as a student advisor, we used to draft letter. We used to drive client care letter. We do those things. Even though when I got to the job, so new, I learned a lot of things. I had to learn new things, you know.
Of course.
Yeah, so, but during the interview, the job description, most of the things they have already practiced it, in the sense that I've done them before. So it was much more easier for me to relate it to them.
Right.
Do you understand?
Right.
On the interview.
Yeah. So this that you said, would you say it is? I understand the importance of experience, right? And especially if you're trying to move from one sector to another sector, you're trying to transition into a new role in a different sector than the one that you've had experience. A lot of people say we have so many transferable skills, which I agree with. But also with that comes with you trying to filter out those skills that fits in the role that you are applying for, the job description. And sometimes there are some challenges that comes with it. Sometimes I don't see those skills exactly in those roles, maybe until later on to identify like, oh, this is something that I could have applied to this. Because the experience needed for that particular role, I haven't actually done it. I'm just putting in the transferable skills. So how best do you think someone who is in that position can use those skills that are transferable into a job role that they are trying to apply for and make it stick and actually express it during the interview in a believable way that, yes, you've actually done this thing?
So one of the transferable skills I got from working in the care home, I usually talk to clients, to patients. So I, in a way, actually gained confidence talking to English people. You know, talking to English people when they don't understand you actually kills your confidence as well. You know, when you try to talk to them,
and they're like, what?
So because I've already worked in the care home, I've spoken to most of them. I know how to pronounce my word in the sense that they will understand. You know, the way they can easily pick it. So when I was talking on that on my interview, my interviewers were understanding me.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So they never said, "Oh, say this again." If they had said, "Oh, say this again," it would have killed my confidence.
Right.
Do you understand? So I never had any time that they interrupted me.
Right.
So they practically understood everything I was saying.
Mm.
And when I mean experience from the university, the experience I got from the university wasn't that enchanting. It wasn't like big or massive. It was just student role. We were limited to some things we could do. As a student advisor, you cannot do. It's different from my current role. So what I mean is that the experience I got from the university was it was a tiny bit, but in my cover letter, I tend to explain more better. Then when I got to the interview, because of the experience actually played a part, but because of the hour I practiced for the interview, practice. When I got to the interview, I was able to relate everything.
Right.
It wasn't like the experience really played a significant part. What really played a significant part is just the fact that I practiced.
Right.
I practiced, practice, and I knew what I wanted to go and do.
Okay. Thank you for saying that. I have 2 questions on this, right? Exactly what are the way you practice? If you were to advise someone about it and go about it, because clearly it worked for you. I mean, you secured the job. So is there a particular method of practicing and preparing for interview that you would advise people to try out when they are going for an interview?
Obviously, if you pick up one of the requirements of the job, go to your book, write it from your head how you meet that requirement. I mean, not looking at book, not look like Google or anything like that. From your own personal experience, from what you've done in the past. Doesn't have to be experience in that line. What you've done, then like you've just spoken about the transferable skills, then trying to think about it, write it. I wrote everything. I formulated questions, likely questions, right? Then I started putting answers to it with my experience, right? So from the experience I've had, everything, I started putting answers to every of the formulated questions. And most of these formulated questions, even though it didn't just come and do, but in 1 or 2 ways came out. Because they asked me about the company's values. And they actually, I remember I've already written about the company value and how my skills can really help to promote the company's values as well. Do you understand? And they asked me why did I want to go with the company when there are other companies, other law firm? Why didn't I just, what's the difference between your law firm and everything? I presumed that question.
Right.
And it actually came out. And why am I motivated? I told them because they have, because my law firm can actually sponsor you to write exams, ask you to qualifying exam. And then because they have this particular thing in place that help anybody working there to grow in their profession. Do you understand? But this one also company doesn't have it, which shows that I've already researched about the company. Right? So this company doesn't have it. And I actually read about the company, how much they made that year. That year I went for interview. I read how much they made because they declared how much the company made. And I compared to contract with other companies and how many workers they've got, right? They got like huge amount of work for different departments and everything, and other companies. So it's a very big company which I can thrive in. Do you understand? So I was able to. Those things were practical. It wasn't theoretical. You understand? Those things were things I've already researched. You understand? I've sat down to research about it, make comparison, studied firm that has the same goal with the company, why they are different from them, and what the company has achieved in that same year that I was applying for the job and something like that. So it's just because every financial year, company publish how much they've made, how they've grown, and everything. So I read the financial year report of that particular company because financial year ends April. Every financial year April, they bring it. But my interview was in July, so I've already read about the company, read the financial year, watched YouTube too. I watched YouTube of previous interns they had. I really did it in a practical way. not theoretical way, in a practical way. So I was able to relate it to them. I think from experience, mostly for international students or international immigrants, there's always that stereotype there that you cannot actually secure a professional job if you don't speak like an English person. You don't have the accent of an English I think mostly it's not about your accent, it's all about you having the necessary skills the company requires. If you are somebody the company cannot do with that, the company is willing to accept you. Right? If you warrant them to teach you or take you through series of trainings for you to learn so many things. It's just about understanding the area you're going to, right? Understanding what are the most paramount skills this particular area requires from you. Then if you have, because it takes time and patience to build those skills to be sincere. It takes time and patience. So if you're able to develop those skills and you're able to demonstrate it, I think nothing stops you from applying for any job in that particular field. Like, it's just give it a try. Don't feel like, oh, my CV is not good. You could write many CVs, one will work for you. Right? You could apply for so many jobs, one will work for you. Although I was just fortunate, this is my first professional job I applied for, and I got the job. So that's everybody's story is different. Yeah? People applied like 5 times, 6 times before they got job or anything like that. But I feel like it's just about you having the skills and you able to demonstrate the skills. It's not about theory, practical. Most people fail during the interview stage. Not because we don't know what we're doing, just because we don't have that confidence to express myself. Like, I almost failed. I think it's just God that provided me that job, because I really did not have the confidence on that particular day. I think most people, international people, are really smart, really know what they're doing. I think it's just that confidence and the stereotype that, oh, you don't speak like English person, you don't do this, you cannot get the job. So if you're able to outgrown that stereotype, don't let it weigh you, and internalize this necessary requirement the job requires from you, then I think you're able to fly.
It's a good thing. You mentioned confidence, right? And one of the values that Urbane Bloke experience, one of the values that we focus on is growth mindset, which potentially, with the idea of growing and improving on yourself, would help you with your confidence. What role does self-worth plays in when you're during interview, when you're applying for a job, like in all of this, being an immigrant, an international student, or you're in a place, a new environment, trying to navigate the new opportunities? What is the importance of self-worth?
Like, very, very important, because if I didn't have self-worth, I probably would have bought care visa in 2022 or 2023. I mean, self-worth also goes with self-esteem, also knowing what you know, what you are capable of doing. Because I have that mindset of, oh, I'm like, I have the capacity to do this stuff. So it actually prepare me to keep going, not to buy the care visa at the time I was advised to buy care visa. You understand? So also self-worth actually play a role in me coming in first class, because I know what I'm worth. I know what I have. I know the knowledge I've got. I know that, oh, the only thing I lack is just the confidence, and then it's about every other thing. I got the skills and everything. I was very persistent. Or like, oh, I must get this first class. And I got the first class. So when I went for a job interview, I understand I told you that I was like shivering, scared and everything. But at that point, I also knew what I had.
Right.
I knew I've read everything the company wants to ask me.
Right.
I knew there's nothing the company wants to ask me that I won't be able to provide answer to, even if it's not like 100% accurate, but I'll be able to touch on it.
Right.
So I also know my worth in that sense. You understand? I also know what I've had, everything, how I've internalized everything into myself. So I think self-worth is just very important in you realizing your goals. Right. So, and you have to guide it. It's not just about saying, I have self-worth, and you must. It's because it takes patience for you to build your self-worth. It's more like your professional status. It takes patience. It takes what people know you. It takes so many things. So you can't just say, "Oh, I have this," but you have to demonstrate that. You need to demonstrate everything you say you have.
Perfect. I mean, you said everything, and I genuinely believe it, and I agree with that too. From my experience, I've realized there are certain things that I've done in my life, and the reason why I decided to go for it was not because of what I was going to gain from it. It was just the idea of myself that I had in my head that obviously you can't do this thing. And it varies in different areas of life. Yeah, in anything you want to dabble into. An example was swimming. For a very long period, I didn't know how to swim till my adult years. And in my head, I was thinking, come on, like, at your age, and it's like, the least is, okay, say you find yourself inside water now, you will now be hopeless.
You're not drowned. Somebody will break you up.
Do you get, like, I was thinking about it, like, at least just try to be able to, and the knowledge of survivor, the level of understanding that I know of as a man, as a human being, there are just some survivor essential skills that you should have. And I see myself in that. I was like, you know what, I'm getting over my phobia for swimming. I got a private tutor. Honestly, and this was in Nigeria before I even came here. I got a private teacher. It took me like two weeks just to go under the water. Not to even start swimming, no. Just the idea of like going under the water alone. It took a while, but because I knew, like, come on, you can do it, and I want to be that guy that, yes, if they throw you inside water, you won't just be hopeless. And I eventually made that happen. I'm not a very good swimmer. I don't think I'm even good, but I think I still have a better chance of survivor than someone who is hopeless. I still know like few things that I could do to just help myself out. And I've put that into other things that I really want to pursue. And I think it relates with ambition too. Yeah. It relates with, like we said, with every part of our life. So, yeah, I agree. It's a gradual process too. It's not going to come and just come over you. It works with the work you've done, the energy you've put in, the experience, and all of that. So, yeah, 100%. I have another question. Before we go, we're rounding up, I promise. And thank you, by the way.
That's
You've
fine.
been awesome.
That's fine.
Big shout out to you, man. What I wanted to ask you, you're a reader. Yeah, you read books a lot. What is the one book that you would recommend that really changed your life? Okay, maybe changing your life sounds a bit too big. Like, what book would you recommend to anybody? Like, if you should meet me right now. So I'm trying to get into reading books and all of that. What book would you recommend for me?
I mean, we have different books for different
reasons. But in the space of growth mindset, becoming that aligns with the values of the sport.
Well, I think you should read Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
If you want to be rich, if you want to, you want to cultivate the mindset of having to get whatever you want. Because when I read the book, it's not about in the financial market or anything. It's actually taught me how to, whatever you want or you want to achieve, you can actually achieve it. You have to close your eyes and just do it. So I read that book. But if in terms of politics,
do you like politics?
Obviously, I read.
Do you see yourself becoming a politician?
No, that's myself.
Really?
I just want to live a simple life with my wife and children.
Oh, really? Yeah. You know what I found? That most people that say that, they end up not doing that. They end up dabbling.
I just want to have money to
see, with money comes power.
Yeah, but some people have money, they don't have power. I mean, they can have power. We have different type of power, not political power. Yeah. They can have economic power.
But if you have the money, there is high chances that you would want to be motivated to pursue the power, a political power.
Where I think Dangote Well,
do you think Dangote is not?
well, Dangote, like, I mean,
He's not a politician, but do you think he's not powerful?
He's powerful economically, but in terms of politically, I would say it's got political power, but it doesn't have it to the extent that it's like it's significant. You know this guy, what's this guy named? This is our Nigerian guy. Is he black? What's his name? Very dark man, has political power more than Dangote.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're saying
right now,
very dark man and Dangote should contest for presidency.
Very dark man will win Dangote.
Bro, you joke, man.
I mean, in terms of political power, I'm serious.
Come on.
I mean, right now, very dark man is not rich, but it's got.
I'm not even talking about, bro.
Yeah, but you know what? Political power comes with the people.
Yeah, and you think very dark man has a larger reach?
If it, like economically, I would say people want to go for Dangote, but in terms politically, people want to go for very dark man. He has been able to establish himself in the heart of people in Nigeria.
Let me ask you a question. Okay. If you were to vote between Dangote and very dark man, who would you vote for?
Actually, I would not vote for Dangote.
Why?
Because I just feel like it wouldn't be able to. It doesn't really. Well, I wouldn't say because I've not been on the shoes, but I would just say he can't really understand the struggle people pass through in Nigeria. But very dark man has a practical experience, so he's able to relate, right? So very dark man is able to. I mean, if very dark man, I'm not saying he's going to perform like absolutely well if he has political power, like in political position. Not if he assumes political position. I'm not saying, I'm not throwing my 100% on him, but I'm just saying at least he would do well more than Dangote. Dangote understand if Dangote already have the power right now, why is he not able to make noise?
Well, this is very debatable, but also we have limited information, so we cannot say for.
That's right.
Well,
but I just use the both of them to describe what economic power and political power. But
I feel you. And finally, before we go, right, if you were to relocate to another country again, what are the survival kits that you have? Just give me 3 essential survival kits.
I think I've told you I do. I research about the financial market, so I buy stocks and everything. Just like I have investment in some stocks I've bought, and also, do you know what? Every society has their own. Every society has its own. They say specialty. If I get to that society, I will figure out what this society needs to survive. Right? So if I go back to Nigeria, I already know what I need to do to survive because of the skills I've already built here.
What do you need?
But do you know what the funniest is?
Tell me.
Most of the skills I've built here cannot work in Nigeria.
They cannot work in Nigeria.
Like most of the skills I've built here cannot actually fetch me enough money in Nigeria. You have to
really.
Yeah, UK is a soft country. Nigeria is not a soft country. You have to go hard.
Yeah, but you get hard. You have to go hard so that you can get the softness. Yeah,
but you have to go hard. Now, like me, if I go to Nigeria, there's still need for me to go hard.
Yeah, see, Nigeria, I feel like it's a good quality. It's a good and bad.
Yeah. If you go to Nigeria,
it's a blessing and a curse.
Nigeria is a very good country if you have money.
Yeah, because it gives you the rigidness, the ruggedity, the tenacity to actually just go for what you want to against all odds there. And I'm sure you use that. That tenacity, even when you're like, there is a part of you like, I've been Nigerian boy.
Obviously.
Don't worry. I am here. Don't see you carry me. Do you get?
Yeah.
So that's a good thing to it. Obviously, there's a bad thing.
Nigeria actually, if you live in Nigeria, you must be smart.
So, final question, right? There is a young Jerry right now, somewhere. If you were to send a message to the younger version of you, or a younger person who is going through almost the same thing you're going through right now, what advice would you give them?
Remain tenacious.
Mm.
Build your confidence when you're young.
Don't be shaking.
Because I wasn't privileged to do that, but because confidence is really, 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 really important in this world. In this world, where if I knew, but I didn't know how to build it.
Yeah, especially like we come from a society where, as a young person, you are not really allowed to share what you think. We come from from a society where, when elders are talking,
You have to shut up.
you keep quiet. So you are not even allowed to express yourself as you would.
Yeah.
So that has always had a way of dampening our confidence, and a lot of us are still dealing with it.
Those of us from Nigeria that are very confident, either their parents are teachers, doctors, professor, or they have economic power.
Right.
So if you have those things growing up, or you live with a parent that are very rich, they expose you to, the kind of school you go to. They already understand these things. So just like me, if my child could.
But yeah, we know better now. We're going to be better parents now, and there is the awareness. It's one of the reasons why we have podcasts like this, for us to create a growth mindset, to have the awareness, to be better, to improve on ourselves, to open our mind to other things, find other ways of becoming better, not to be rigid and be stuck with the teachings that we've been brought up with. Reinvent yourself, refine yourself, be urbane, basically. That is what you mean. So, yeah.
It's nice.
Thank you for really coming on.
You're
this
welcome.
call, man.
You're
I really had the best time. Your story is very inspirational. It's interesting. It's motivating. Right now, I'm gingered. I've read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I'm going to read it again.
Don't be poor again.
Yeah. So guys, reach out to us. And as you go through your week, go through your day, always remember to remain refined and be urbane. I'll see you next time. My name is Gary Tosin. Peace out. Bye.